Hello, hello, hello. I'm here today to help you with your business. And what is greater than that? Not much, if you ask me. My name is Alicia Pozsony. I'm an author. I've got books that can help you. I've got courses that can help you. I'm a coach. I do work toward business success. And today, that's very different than it was 10 years ago or for our parents. So let's dive in, shall we? I'd like to share something with you that's very important. It's a secret that's going to help you. You're going to actually be able to launch your business and grow your business, sustaining any challenges that you might face. And isn't that exciting? Think about that. Imagine a challenge that you're facing today. Take a moment and think about that. Now, this presentation is going to help you to sustain your business. I've mentioned that already. I wanted to go over things with you and tell you what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about growth. We're going to talk about strategy. And these are the things that are going to help you. Now, one of my favorite quotes are, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. You may have heard me say this before, but the truth is that if you could imagine someone like Helen Keller, she was stricken blind, unable to see, unable to hear, yet she was the first woman who got a graduate program. She was able to go through that and make it. She was facing odds like no other. And I can relate to that because I also have found that. Now, if you're a person like me who's been through things and you're on a career path or a business path, I want you to take this worksheet that I've provided and I want you to write your dream on the very first spot. I want you to think about what it is that is your ultimate goal, your dream. Now, I've had dreams and some of them I've accomplished and some of them I haven't, but it's true. People see me as a CEO, a best-selling international author, a resilience expert. I coach people thousands of hours and I'm trusted for my success guidance. But it wasn't always this way. I was presented challenges in my life and I learned that I have to ask for help, not because I was unable, but because I'm understanding that business is hard. You can't do it alone. Are you with me? Willie Jolly said, a setback is nothing but a comeback. And it's so true. I want you to think of this workshop today, this talk as a workshop, not just a talk, but a workshop. And because life is a series of setbacks, I'm here to teach you to overcome. As I stand here, I want you to know that I was given a chance. I could have given up. Just like my mentor, Les Brown, says, I could give up or I could get up. And I got up and I defined my business goal. And that's why now I have podcasts, I have business solutions and frameworks for people to lead with influence, make needed impact, and earn more income. So let me ask you, are you in a place where you're facing challenges? Do you know that your mindset matters? And business acceleration is about transformation. So write that down. Transformation. And the only way to do that over any challenge is resilience. So resilience is the way you adapt to change. It's the way that you stand strong and keep going in the face of adversity. Harvard Business Review says that 75% of people had a challenge, and it wasn't what you might think. It was managing difficult people or politics at work. And imagine the stress brought on when you're trying to navigate those different personalities, those different people coming from different generations with different beliefs. And there's no answers for those, right? There's not a guidebook for that. So only when you discover your core is when you can figure out what it is that's going to help you to transform. And the way to do that is through mindset. So you can choose, you can be the king of your comfort zone, or you can grow. Growth is the thing that's going to set you up. Growth requires you to set goals up here. And you may find that the first time you try something, you may fail, you might fall, you may lose money, lose relationships, contacts, connections. But if you get back up, that's the thing that's going to get you there. That growth is going to take you where you want to go. So, as my mentor, Barbara Corcoran, shares, she shares that businesses who fail fast, leaders who fail fast, are the ones who are going to have the fastest growth. So if you're thinking that you are afraid to fail, just remember, you will learn how to go faster, stronger, more determined, and reach goals higher. When I started out, I was speaking to kids, and I didn't know that I was going to end up where I am today. Now I'm speaking to corporations and leaders, and I didn't know I would succeed. So I want to ask you to do something for me. On that next line of the worksheet, I want you to think about the order of the business steps that you want in order to grow. Think about the steps that you're going to end up with and get you further along in your path. It might be operational, it might be connections you need, it might be research, more information. You might need to figure out that thing to take you to the next level. So if you think you might have some of those things, put them down, order them 1 through 5. They could be simple, such as you need a podcast, you want to start a book, you need additional income, maybe you need to make partnerships. Write those things down. Accomplishing things without planning is going to lead you to a path where you're either going to be burnout or you're going to fail altogether. And you don't want either of those things. You want your business to succeed. You want a strategy. And that's the lesson, that it's hard to stay on track sometimes. It's hard to focus. But what I want you to do is think about how lucky you would be if you landed in the right spot. Did you ever have a day where things are just going your way? When I was younger, I wrote a resume for someone who was in need of a job, and that led me to helping people and becoming a career coach. It was one action that took me. I knew I was groomed for something. So even though I was following the steps that I had taken out of school, I had gone down and listened to people and took a job that paid well, it wasn't what was aligning with my heart and who I am. So if you think about this, I want you to take note that growth comes from you taking steps, failing fast, and getting where you would like to go. I have some things that will surprise you. When you filled out those things on that worksheet, you filled out your dreams, you filled out your goal, you filled out your, if you haven't done it, that there's a section for the top 3 things to ensure. But when you fill that out, you've actually written your story. You've written out the thing that's going to take you to that next step. It's going to take you to the place where you want to go. More customers, growing your business. You can take those things and use them. You can use them in a book. You can use them in a podcast, both of which will give you more credibility. They'll give you more income. And this is a surprise. So if you wrote down your goal, normally I'd pick someone from the audience, but I'll tell you a story. When I had my last presentation for business owners in Orlando, I came and I called on someone from the audience, and he was a speaker. He was a poet, and he wanted to know how to take his craft, his gift, and bring that into something. So I asked him, well, what were the 5 things that you wrote down? And he wrote down lead generation. He wrote down needing a marketing plan and needing resources. Then he told me his goal was to connect with people using his poetry. And I told him that he could take that. He could make a course, how to use your creative gift to get more leads or get more revenue or get more resources. And in that moment, the spark happened. The spark flew, and he went into this place of knowing that he could set his goals and he could reach it. So when you sit down and you look at what your gifts are, what your talents are, what you can do, you can train others. You can use that to tell your story. You can create solutions, courses, and at the same time, you can get things in this world today that people need. You can create books, you can create podcast tools that you'll be able to use. You can do webinars, you can do business offerings that grow your business to the next level. Constantly learning is going to help you sustain your business. You're going to keep going, and you're going to be able to look at things that might help you in your business and in your life. When you're thinking about your career, there's final takeaways I want to give you. I'd love to help you. I've got so much information for you, but for today, I want to give you this last 3 takeaways. You need a strong, unique brand to get customers and then get more customers. You need that framework as well. You need a CRM solution with all the funnels, all the strategy, all the emails, all the connections on socials. You need the automatic build up for your content online. It's not easy in business today, but there is a strategy and there is a path. You have to be mindful and wary of people who's going to sell you something that doesn't work. So keep in mind, do your research. The next thing is market research. When you think about marketing, and we've already said you need a strong brand, you need to market that brand. And you can't be someone with different messages and different platforms. You need to really focus, use your strategies. There's ways to do ads and click tests and different things over short amounts of time with short amount of money that can help you to really know what your customers want. It isn't enough to say that you have an offering. You have to partner that offering with what your audience needs. And that is not easy, but you can do it. So the third thing I want to offer, the strategy that's going to help you, is to collaborate with others. Figure out the thing that is going to complement your offer and partner with people that have that. So when you know your problem you solve, you know who needs your solution, you know what sets you apart and what your irresistible offer is, you're going to then figure out who you can partner with. Whenever you partner with a cause that's greater than yourself, it brings people in. You share those connections with others. I've partnered with Feeding America and water.org and things that are so important to me because as a child, I didn't have food. I didn't have clean water or even sometimes a reliable place to live. I know that some of you are facing things and you think it's behind you, but it's still within you, and that thing might very well take you to that next level. So think about your life. Think about this wonderful world we live in. Think about the things that you can do to elevate your business, your brand. Use this goal and connect with me because I can help you to do things that will get you farther faster. If you've got questions, let me know. I would love to work with you.